a snack here for the new chickens. Plus I've got 7 eggs today for us. So I'm going to go in and give the chickens a new little snack here. They're doing really well with this adult. This is layer pellet. They've been eating starter, what do you call it? Starter crumble or whatever. And I'm trying to switch them over to the layer pellet. They're doing really well. I've got them on about a 50-50 mixture, meaning 50% starter and 50% pellet. So that's great. They're 11 weeks old now. They're almost halfway to being old enough to lay eggs. So it's good to get them on that layer pellet. So I'm going to go in and give it to them. I've got a snack for the girls, okay? Okay, girls. You did a good job today, girls. You did a good job. Eating your layer pellet. That's great. That's great, girls. I'll close up your side door so you're ready for tonight, okay? Okay. Okay, girls. Girls. Okay, the girls have their snack. Now I'm going to go feed Emma. Okay, Emma, here I come, girl. I'm coming, Emma. The chickens really like it with their little coop. As far as I can tell, they like it anyway. It's got those 2 wheels on it, and I have a handle that I attached to it. Longtime viewers of the channel will remember me not that long ago putting that big handle on here and moving this little chickshaw to this new location. And they spend about a month in these locations surrounded by this electric netting. The electric netting is powered by this solar panel charged battery. There's a battery inside that casing, and that kind of puts a charge to that electric netting that goes all the way around the little chickshaw. And it gives them quite a bit of space. There's only 14 chickens in there, so they have a lot of room. I feel really good about keeping chickens this way, where they're on grass and they're eating insects and whatnot, grass and so forth. I feel really good about that. Eventually they wear their spot out. You can see it's starting to wear right now. And then I'll move them. So on moving day, I'll remove the fence from around them, which is very easy. It just kind of stabs into the ground with the little points. And this area here is where they'll go next. I have to finish weed whacking and mowing this area, but this is going to be their next location. And of course, you know, chickens do not like tall grass, so it'll be mowed nicely. And that'll give this other area time to recover. And then after that next location, we're talking probably, let's see now, so I'm going to move them from where they are right now to the new location they'll move over in mid-August. And then in mid-September, I'll move them over to this area, which looks like a jungle right now, but most of that jungle is flax. And the flax is going to get pulled out in the middle of August. Longtime viewers to the channel know that I'm interested in growing sustainable fibers for spinning and then weaving, and flax certainly is one of those. We collect the seeds on top of these flax plants. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's one right there. And then we dry those seeds and plant them the following year. There are different varieties of flax, but anyway, this particular flax patch will get pulled out by the roots. And I will process this flax. I know a lot of you are anxious to see that. I am too. No, this is something that we do periodically. And by the time we're done processing the flax, it'll give us fiber for spinning. And then we also have a weaving loom that we'll put it on there and weave some fabric. So Danielle and I talk about what am I going to film tonight for the video. I'm always at a loss for ideas. Sometimes I get some ideas like, well, I can show them how I make this, or I can show them how I grow that. But most of the time I'm at a loss for ideas. So Danielle says, just take the camera out there and lots of times something comes to your mind. I'm always afraid of showing you people the same thing over and over again, but I try to approach things differently each time at least. Well, today's Wednesday, I think it's the 23rd. Tomorrow's Thursday the 24th, and then a week from tomorrow, oh boy, all heck breaks loose. And it all begins with the garlic. This garlic's coming out. In fact, the garlic probably could come out now, well, truth be told, but we wait until July 31st. And I want to show you this. Remember garlic scapes? We talked about garlic scapes back in June, and I'm sure many of you homesteaders out there dealt with your garlic scapes. I want to see if I can show this to you. Here's one of them that I let stay on the vine, or on the plant I should say. I hope that's in focus. I'll turn it around and perhaps you can see the little bulbules or the little seeds in there. We're going to let that grow a little longer, and we'll actually have little round what they call bulbils, B-U-L-B-I-L, which are little garlic seeds, and I'll explain to you what you could do with those. So anyway, the garlic comes out a week from tomorrow. And then these two beds, we have a lot of new viewers to the channel, so I'll review a little bit. These two beds, this one right here, that one right there, after they're empty of garlic, they will be mowed and rototilled. New compost will go in, and I'm going to plant carrots in this bed, and Danielle has some brassica plants up under the grow lights that she's going to put in this bed. Some fall brassicas. That'll be really exciting. She did a really good job with broccoli this year. I think it's been our best broccoli year so far. I had to check for some Colorado potato beetles and Japanese beetles on these potatoes. It'll just take me a second. We've just now started to see some insect pressure on the potatoes. Last year we had very little problem with Colorado potato beetle, and so far it's going pretty good this year too. A lot of you are astonished at the way I group onions together. It is kind of unusual. Not many people do this, and it saves space. It's primarily for saving space, because if I didn't group these onions together in groups of 4, then I would need 4 times the amount of space to plant my onions. So that's the main reason why we do that. And I experiment each and every year. Sometimes I do groups of 3, but by the middle of August, gosh, August is going to be a busy month, but by the middle of August, these onions will be out of the ground and lying on their side. I'm not going to win first prize at the county fair for the biggest onion. We'll go over it again in more detail when we get to that point, but what I do is I pull them out of the ground at first and just line them all up on the ground and let them lie in the sun for a few days to begin the drying out process, and then we move them to another location. The tomatoes will be turning red pretty soon. So who is Gathering Basket Homestead, you might wonder? Well, it consists of myself, Stephanie, and Danielle. She's up at the house right now. I think she's juicing some vegetables. This is not the official introductory video, though. I talked to Danielle about it. We owe you all an introductory video, but just for right now, because we have a lot of new subscribers, it's just the two of us. We're both elderly, and we believe that since we're both, I'm kind of tall and maybe still some strength in me, and Danielle is quite wiry. She's in very good shape. Health-wise, she's better than me. I have bad knees. But once I got off of pharmaceuticals, my health got a lot better. But we won't go into that right now. But yeah, we decided to do as much of our own cooking as we could, raise as much food as is practical. Gosh, about 10 years ago, you should have seen this place back then. We were going crazy with vegetables. We've actually cut back quite a bit, and we slowed down. But I told Danielle that as long as I can, I'm going to drag myself down there and plant potatoes and plant carrots and onions as long as I can, because I just love being down here in the garden. I'm not a big fan of summer. My favorite season is winter. I love our wood cook stove. I like sitting next to it and hand sewing my clothes. All the clothing that I'm wearing right now, I hand sewed out of high quality linen. And I don't know, I like it better. We try to get out of the industrial food system, and we try to get out of the industrial clothing system. So we try to live very simply, very conservatively, very frugally, and that's just us. We think we're different. We have a lot of beliefs. I won't go into our beliefs. You don't care. You've got your beliefs, we've got our beliefs. If you were here having a cup of coffee, then maybe we could talk about things like that, but you don't. By and large, you wouldn't care about that. But our philosophy is to grow as much of our food as we can, make as much of our clothing as we can, and then we read, we play musical instruments, and we study. I am particularly fond of studying history, in particular banking history, and maybe even studying where our country may have gone wrong. So anyway, that's Gathering Basket Homestead. One day Danielle and I will sit down with a cup of coffee, probably when it gets colder out and we can sit by the wood stove, and we'll do a more in-depth, more detailed discussion about who we are and why we're doing what we do. Okay, so gosh, it's starting to get late, and sun's starting to go down. I like this time of year because when it cools down like this, you can actually come down here. When I do this set of chores, I usually come down around 6:30, quarter to 7, and I can actually do some things. I can do some weeding. I can do some harvesting. I can, things like that. So I like this time of year. Anyway, I'm glad to bring you all along with me, and it's a lot of fun. So, all right, tomorrow's going to be a busy day down here. I'll be working in the garden. If I can think of anything to talk about, I'll bring the camera with me. Otherwise, have a good evening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.